Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. Make sure that you try these supplements out. They're very, very good, very healthy, natural, and you can check the link in the description box. That is Nature's Blend Black Seed Oil, and they have other things as well. Oh, put your hand away, little boy. Boy. Hope you enjoyed the video. So
this verse can't be talking about Ahmad Ghulam. You know why? Because the Ahmadi narrative is that Ghulam Ahmad is Jesus, right?
Oh, he's the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah, he's the second coming of Jesus. But here, this is Jesus in the verse that's talking. There's going to be a prophet after me called Ahmad. So he's differentiating in this verse. This Jesus Christ is differentiating between himself and Ahmad. Do you see this point? Because Jesus is saying, وَرَسُولٌ مِّن بَعْدِ اسْمُهُ أَحْمَدٌ. There's going to be a prophet after me called Ahmad. And it's not him. And it's not Isa. It's a different individual completely. You see?
Now I'm talking about the prophecy that the Hazrat Muhammad said about the latter-day Messiah. Right? So that's okay that Jesus said that about him. But then the Prophet Muhammad also prophesied in the Quran that the latter-day Messiah will come. Right?
So,
but at the same time, our belief is the same, right? That we both believe a Messiah will come.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
We both believe that, right? It's just a person that is. We believe it's Ghulam Ahmad. You guys believe it's Isa.
Yeah, but why
right?
do you believe it's Ghulam Ahmad, if you don't mind me asking?
Because Isa's dead, right? It can't be Isa again, right? Because in the Quran it says all the messengers before the Holy Prophet have died.
With respect, though, with all due respect, even if we took your interpretation of that seriously, and that Jesus is dead, yeah? Let's take your interpretation seriously. Even if Jesus is dead, it doesn't mean that the person that has to be the next Messiah is going to be Ghulam Ahmad.
Sure.
So
then we start talking about like the character, right, of the promised Messiah, right? I'm sorry, Ghulam Ahmad, right? We can start talking about the character and the signs in the Quran that show that, you know,
which ones? Give me some examples.
Like truthfulness, right? In his ummah, right?
What does it say in the Quran?
He's known as a truthful person, right? That, like the criteria of somebody to be a prophet, right?
What verses are you talking about?
I think this is from the Hadith actually.
All right, so
but it directly corresponds to the Quran, right? It doesn't contradict it. So, like
look,
the conditions.
what's your name again?
Salman.
Look, Salman, I understand what you're saying. You're a little bit confused. I understand. You look like you're an honest and genuine and humble individual, and I respect the fact that you've taken the time to come and ask me these questions. I really do. But I'm going to give you 2 or 3 evidences that I think are qat'i evidences, which means that they don't actually allow anyone to have any other interpretation of the situation of the Ahmadis. And I want you to really take these evidences. Yeah.
You know Razi? No. Razi Guzrat. Like the Ahmadi Answers?
I think I remember this.
Yeah, so he's my friend, right?
Yeah.
And he's been trying to get in contact with you guys, trying to hold a debate or something.
Look,
we can do this on.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for a couple of days. If this brother wants to come and see me, by all means, come to the conferences. Look, I block him on WhatsApp. That's not a problem because I don't have to give my number out to people on WhatsApp. With all due respect, I've got a lot of people that I can, you know. But if someone wants to speak to me, I'm going to be in a conference tonight. So he can come to the conference. He's welcome to the conference, okay? And if he wants to have a discussion with me after the conference, consider this a public. And you're gonna go tell him, right?
Sure.
Yeah, no problem. Consider. I don't want to waste time with anyone, right? We consider this a public invitation.
Because he's an actual like scholar, right? I'm not really a scholar. I'm just some guy.
I'm saying consider it a public invitation, okay? A public invitation for your friend that you're considering a scholar. Yeah, he's a scholar in Ahmadis. So, you know,
we're not at the same level of knowledge. You know?
Fine.
Obviously, I can't beat you.
It's not about beating you, bro. It's about finding the truth, isn't it?
Like
okay, look.
Even if I wanted to prove you wrong, I couldn't, right?
Yeah, no. Even if
I don't know.
It's not that. If you had the truth and I didn't, I would not be able to prove you wrong. If I tried to prove to you that 2 + 2 = 5, however clever I am, it's not going to work because no one's going to believe it.
This is more complicated. This is not just 2 + 2 adds 2 like.
Well, I think this is less complicated because you have a prophet saying "La nabiyya ba'di." There's no prophet after me. You have in the Quran it says "Khatim al-Nabiyyin," that he's the final prophet, not just.
Seal of the prophets.
No, it's 2 qira'ahs. There's one qira'ah Khatam.
It says Khatim, right?
There's 2.
Seal of the prophets.
There's 2. Khatam is seal, and Khatim is final.
Yeah, but it says seal. Right?
Bro, do you know what the qira'at?
Khatam, right?
There's 2 qira'at. You can recite it as Khatam and Khatim. Khatam means the seal of the prophets. Khatim means the final prophet. Khatim means it's the final one. Unless someone wants to say, I don't believe in that Qur'an. In that case, I'll say, if that person says, I don't believe in Qur'an, I say, you're not Muslim. Sorry to say. Because the Qur'an says, أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضِ. You believe in parts of the book and disbelieve in parts of the book. So you believe in it when it's in line with with what your scholars say, and you disbelieve in it when it's not in line with. And that's what the Qur'an says. اتَّخَذُوا أَحْبَارَهُم وَرُهْبَانَهُم أَرْبَابًا مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَالْمَسِيحَ ابْنَ مَرْيَمَ. SubhanAllah. It says that they've taken their rabbis and their priests as gods besides Allah and Isa ibn Maryam. So, for us not to fall into that category of people, and then Adi ibn Hatim, who was an ex-Christian, he said we didn't used to take our rabbis and monks as gods besides God. Then the Prophet said to him, did they not make halal what Allah made haram, and make haram what Allah made halal? And he said yeah. So the point is that we've got to be clear. We speak to Christians, we say, look, for example, Trinity is not mentioned in your Bible, co-equal, co-eternal persons of the Trinity. You know, this was the development that came 300 years after. We say, show us something concrete within your own unpreserved texts. We're saying we're even better than, look, we have the same preserved texts. Look, Akhi, me and you have preserved texts. They don't have preserved texts. We agree with that, innit? SubhanAllah. We have a perfect book. It's a perfect book and it's preserved. No one can say this verse is not meant to be recited like that. If I say Khatim, unless, wallahi, if someone says, preserved. So if someone says this, there's only two, Akhi, you can't have a different interpretation. I'm saying this. I'm saying that if these are the two only ways of reciting that verse, Khatam and Khatim. Yeah? Khatam means the seal. You're right. I agree with you. Khatim means the final. Like, for example, you can recite, Malik Yawmuddin. Malik Yawmuddin means the owner of the Day of Judgment. Malik Yawmuddin. Yeah, I understand. But this is something else. Let's just stick with one thing at a time, akhi. This is it. Malik Yawmuddin means owner of the Day of Judgment. Malik Yawmuddin means the king of the Day of Judgment. Now, if someone says, I don't believe that Allah is the king of the Day of Judgment, I don't believe that, I'll say, what, are you disbelieving in the verse? I say, Malik Yawmuddin. I think this is the only verse in the Qur'an that says that Allah is the owner. Yeah?
I agree with it. I believe in Khatim and Nabiyyin, but I believe that.
So you believe it says Khatim. So Khatim is preserved, yes? You're not going to say that the word Khatim is unpreserved. The word Khatim and Khatim, both of them are preserved. Khalas. Qur'an is preserved. طيب. If Khatim is preserved and the Qur'an is preserved, there's only one more thing you can do now. You have to go into the books of the Arabs, the pre-Arabs, the poetry, the qawamis, or what you call the dictionaries, and find me anyone that says Khatim does not mean the final. If you find that, well, I'll shake your hand and agree with you. But if you can't find that, then we must agree the Qur'an is explicit and is unequivocal and is unambiguous and is completely clear in the fact that the Qur'an says Khatim, which means the final. Not only Khatim, but Khatim. You see the point here? This is, wallahi, it's an impossible verse to translate the other way. Khatim, yeah. I'm telling you, akhi, I've done the research. I can't afford to make a mistake. Do you know how many people are going to watch this? I can't afford to make a mistake. Yeah, I've read. Yeah, look, I can't afford to make a mistake. Khatim means the final. And so, if that was not the case, they would be making thousands of videos about me saying, look, he doesn't even know Arabic because Khatim doesn't mean final. They'd humiliate me.
Then now we gotta discuss what the verse actually says, Khatim or Khatum.
No. It says both, akhi. Like I said, it's one qira'ah. It's like Malik and Malik. You have Malik is a qira'ah of the Qur'an, which means owner.
So it says both.
Yeah.
In the same verse?
Yes, it's called qira'ahs of the Qur'an. I'm sure you're aware of this, yeah? So you can recite if you look at the Qur'an, you can recite, for example, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmuddin.
You also agree that it could be seal of the prophets?
It's both.
Or it could also be...
No. It's cannot be a contradiction. Look, when you have a qira'ah like that, it can never be contradictory to each other. That means you're saying there's contradictions in the Qur'an. So hey, look, here's the point. You either say the Qur'an is not preserved, or that it's contradicting itself, or you try and bring out some new Arabic, some funky Arabic. But in either three cases, the situation is one. Situation is the Qur'an says it's the final prophet, and there's no way of bypassing that unless someone does some kind of kufr. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You have to say that the Quran is contradicting itself, you have to say it's unpreserved, or you say the Arabic, I've got it completely wrong, and you give me some evidences from the first 300 years or pre-Islam. Show me that, get Antar ibn Shaddad or the Mu'allaqat of the Arabs, and tell me that, you know, give me some evidence that Khatim doesn't mean.
Yeah, we do have to go back.
You have to go. Yeah, let him finish. Is anything you want to say to that?
Yeah.
Do you see? Does that make sense, bro? Is that fair?
It makes sense, but we have we have some like Arabic dictionary, right?
Yes.
That says Khatam means seal of the Prophet.
Yeah, Khatem, but Khatim doesn't.
Yeah, but we only seen Khatam, right?
No, we've got two. We've got two.
We only believe in the seal of the prophets. Like that's the verse. The translation of the verse is seal of the prophets. It's not the last prophet.
Look.
Right? Even La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Like I recite that, right? So I'm a Muslim, right? Regardless.
Are you a Muslim that believes in the preservation of the Quran?
Yes.
All right. So when I say, if I'm reciting the Quran now and I'm in the prayer, and I say Malik Yawmiddin, are you going to correct me?
Malik Yawmiddin?
No, not Malik. Malik. Malik means king. But it's you know, there's 10 qira'at, 10 ways you can recite the Quran. 4 of them, you can recite them the word Malik, owner of the day of judgment. 6 of them, which is actually more, you can say Malik. So if I say Malik Yawmiddin,
And they both mean the same?
no, they don't mean the same. One means owner and one means king. But we say as Muslims, we believe that Allah is the owner and the king. You can go and ask any of the Ahmadi scholars, none of them are going to deny that Allah is the owner and the king. Because as far as I know, they don't deny the qira'at, they don't deny the preservation of the Quran, right? And that they were preserved through the qira'at, right?
Okay, so let's say that it is true, right?
Yes.
Let's say it says that he's the last prophet.
Yes.
But then you guys now believe that Isa will come down, remember? So is Isa not a prophet, or are you guys going to strip him away of prophet?
No, hold on. He's going to come back. When he comes back, like all the prophets are going to, like I said to you from the beginning, brother, all the prophets are going to come. It's not just Isa.
Oh, but in this world,
No,
I'm not
it's,
talking about the day of
but no
judgment,
one makes a
I'm talking about this
distinction.
world.
Look, the day of judgment is as real as this world. All of the prophets are going to be raised on the day of judgment. Do you agree?
Yes.
All right. So when they come back, are they going to come back as prophets?
Yes.
Now, if they come back as prophets, so do you believe there's going to be prophets that come after Ghulam Ahmad?
So will they not be prophets in the day of judgment? Won't that? They be
Yes,
kind
but
of-
their functionality as a prophet, as a lawgiver, as someone who has been receiving wahi to guide the people, that has come to a cessation at their death.
No, but prophet
And at
doesn't
the,
have to be a lawgiving prophet.
pardon?
Like,
No. For example, I'm giving an example. It doesn't have to be, you're right. And there's difference of opinion between what is the difference between Nabi and Rasul. So the point I'm making to you is this: is that the argument falls on its face when we talk about, okay, he's going to come back. Well, all of the prophets are going to come back. Even worse than this, Akhi, you believe in Al-Isra al-Ma'raj? Al-Isra al-Ma'raj. When the prophet, actually, you believe it's a vision. I understand. Fine. Let's move on. Let's move on. But the point is, on the day of judgment, it's as simple as this: we believe all the prophets are going to be there. Now you're asking me, will Jesus, his placement as a prophet be stripped away from him? I'm asking you the same question. All of those people are going to be prophets, but their functionality, yes, will not. And who's going to be the leader of them? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not Ahmad, is it? It's Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's going to do Shafa' al-Kubra and so on and so forth, right?
yes, it's going to be the seal of the prophets. Which are,
No, but here's the point. The point is not about this. It's about chronology. You're saying to me, because you're saying this is the only argument you really have now, clutching on straws. You're saying that, look, you guys believe in the second coming of Jesus. That must mean necessarily that there's another prophet after Prophet Muhammad. But I'm saying we believe that all of the prophets are going to come back after Prophet Muhammad in the day of judgment, and Muhammad is going to come back as well.
so then the verse then that he's the last prophet, right? Then if all of them are going to come back, right? What's the
Yeah, but they're going to
it's
come.
like a contradiction. Then.
No. They're going to come back in a different capacity. Because as I said to you before, the word Nabi, it means you're being given news of something. Yeah, you've been given news. Now, they're not coming back to be given news and then deliver that news. They're coming back to be judged, for example. Or in the case of Jesus, to make a judgment. Okay, they come back with specified roles, not with the role that they had beforehand. So the point I'm making to you is that the verse, see, look, you have to say it yourself. And this shows, I'm not saying that it's about you, bro, but I'm saying it shows you're willing to leave all of Islam for Ahmadiyya, because you're willing to make the Qur'an contradict itself, yeah, which will be impossible unless it's not a godly word, in order to avoid the fact that the verse says what it says, which shows you it's quite disturbing. The point I'm making to you is very simple, right? The Qur'an says that Prophet Muhammad is the final prophet, Khatim al-Nabi. Let's let it be there. Yeah? That's how it is.
Let's get a scholar to come to the conference.
The scholar brother, tell him to come, please. Mr. Saga, Cooper, come. Yes, inshallah. All right, thank you. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you, man. Thank you.